that'll fucking learn you. I'm going to get Tom Jones to sing a mean song about you. And Tom was like, oh, bit of a sad one, is it? But you are then. And then go in the studio and just like, Daughter of Darkness!
We're the Vanity Project, an art pop band whose meteoric rise to fame was thwarted by a global pandemic.
And also a consistent lack of interest from the music industry and the general public.
And so instead, we've embarked upon a new mission to become the world's leading authority on UK pop music.
In this show, we'll randomly pick a year between 1965 and now, listen to the full UK Top 100 from that year, and hash out the top 10 best and worst songs.
And just because we're sadistic, we'll challenge each other to cover one of the songs on the best list and one of the songs on the worst list.
Is your Uncle Kev right about pop not being what it used to be?
Or was he too pilled up in his youth to realise that it used to be even shitter?
Let's find out.
We've done the best hits of 1970. Now we're on to the worst hits of 1970. We're broadly positive towards the year. It's a good year. What would you say the worst traits of hit songs of this year?
Overwhelming wholesomeness.
Oh, good Christ, yes.
Plastered on Pan Am grins and pure like, don't worry guys, the Vietnam War will be over soon.
There are a lot of songs that came out this year that are boring. But there's a lot that I gave like 5 and 6 and 4. Stuff that I'm just like, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. Like, it's just boring. But there are a few, and I think we're going to have a lot of crossover on this list. Let's say turds in the rough. I'm happy to go first. And frankly, if this isn't on your top 5, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Okay.
It's Gimme Dat Ding.
Oh, I'm lost, can't do my thing, and that's why I sing, gimme that ding.
It's so horrible.
Well, I'll let you make your case.
Will you defend it first? Because I don't see what's defensible about it.
I think this song is, all of its clattering nonsense, is really kind of infectious. Secondly, the song is about a metronome having a conversation with a piano. Which is like They Might Be Giants level of ridiculous. I love that. I think the high-pitched one is the piano and the really rough voice one is the metronome.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense. It makes no fucking sense. So I will level with you, and the reason I put it as the 5th worst is because it's the weirdest, and therefore I give it some credits for just being odd, and the fact that this odd became a hit, I'm quite impressed by. But it is horrible. Both of the voices on the song are weird, and they're both intensely annoying. The deep one, though, just makes me feel quite sick. It's sort of like the creepy guy at the bar, sort of like lurking, like creeping on women and just being a horrible guy. And I thought that was just my hypothesis until I read the Wikipedia page, and it seems like there was a character from a comedy radio show called like Creepy Old Man, and that's who he was trying to do an impression of. So that was intentional, and they thought that would be an appropriate thing to put on a hit song.
But he's a metronome.
Sure, but when I listen to metronomes, as I do sometimes, I never thought like, oh, that sounds like a lurid old git. It made me feel quite paranoid and stressed, to be honest. Now, I would say this. I don't imagine this song expected to be a hit, so I don't really blame the song. I blame, as I do many things, the British public.
The British public, yeah. I'm going to start with the one that I had the least to say about, because I really don't have much. There's only one thing wrong with this, but it is horrible. And it's also by far the most obscure one here. I looked it up, it has like 40,000 streams on Spotify, and it's by far the guy's biggest track. And it was like a huge hit at the time, so it's been very forgotten. The song is called Sally, and the artist is called Gerry Monroe. Sally, Sally. I'll just tell you the exact problem with it, and that is the vocals. A falsetto that is 100% brilliant is one of the best sounds in the world. A falsetto that is 99% brilliant is awful. And Gerry Monroe is sitting at a sweet 85 or something like that. It's just like, it's in tune, but oh God, is it the most grating sound in the world. Now, it would be fine if he dipped into it for like the occasional high note, but the melody of this song is insane. Like, it'll just be like, da da da, skies are blue, and then out of nowhere, like, Like, just out of sheer nowhere, it'll just leap up for no reason. Like, I'm not surprised you don't remember it, Rob, because it's the least catchy thing in the world. There's no hook to it. I've listened to it a few times this episode. I don't remember a no, apart from the bit where he goes, beguiling. It's just like,
Oh,
horrible.
I do remember this one. It's borderline yodeling.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 7.
No!
I think I quite like the bonkers vocals.
Well, this is it. I like the pips of being bonkers. You like the sound of being bonkers. We're even.
Keep on surviving,
The money's coming, Dimitri. Just give me like a couple more. Oh, hi, Dan Cranston here, the Vanity Projects manager. I'm glad you're enjoying this video, but I'm gonna level with you. I need you to hit that subscribe button, okay? And a special offer just for today. If we get 50 more subscribers by the end of this video, then I might get to see my family again.
My next one, oh God, my next one, I just remembered the chorus and I nearly gagged. I hate this song so much.
Okay.
It's Years May Come by Herman and the Hermits.
Let's take a look behind and see what we can find.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I think it's Years May Come, Years May Go, I think it's full title.
It makes Macca's grandma music seem like the most cutting edge thing the Beatles ever did.
But that's what Herman's Hermits were. Always billed as one of the big Mersey beat, although they were Manchester based, one of the big beat group rivals to the Beatles. They were tipped like being the next Beatles in America.
It's really funny to me, like, if you think about the Manchester's music reputation,
Yeah,
because of all the stuff that happened in the 90s and the 80s, this like swaggering, like, and now kid, being like the hard one compared to all the music that came out of London. If you listen to fucking Years May Come, that should take Manchester down a peg, because there's nothing hard about Years May Come.
Years may come, years may come, years may go, quickly go.
The fucking lyrics are some of the most insipid things I've ever heard, especially in the chorus. Years may come, they may come.
Some go fast, very fast, some go.
It has 2 key changes in it.
always a sign of a confident song.
Yeah, as if to be like, right, we know this is dog shit. How can we keep up the interest? Key change.
Years may come.
Oh, it's still extraordinarily grim, isn't it? How are we going to keep up the interest? Key change again.
Years may come. Years may come.
And then just fade out. It was awful and I hate it.
Yeah, fully with you. All right, my number 2 is, I think this one is kind of a pet peeve of mine. The lyrics express some kind of dark sentiment. You can tell the singer has absolutely no intention to convey that. The song in question is Daughter of Darkness by Tom Jones.
Why did you deceive me so?
Is this on your list?
No, it made my long best list.
Oh, God, no.
I really like it.
Song. So I'll put this going for it. Number 1, the chorus is a good hook. Daughter of Darkness! That is exactly it. The lyrics of this song are fucking hysterical. Now, I have a kind of another pet peeve, is just songs that are like, you left me, and therefore you are the genuine child of the devil. Like, get over it, man. It was a breakup. They're not evil. But Tom Jones, he just sings it like he's just like found out he's off to Skegness for the weekend. He don't care at all. The verses he puts a bit more drama in, but only like real camp drama.
Oh, so suddenly you were gone.
And by the time you get to the chorus, he's just like, he's waiting for the paycheck.
Daughter of darkness.
Look, here's what happened. Somebody wrote a really bitter song about their ex-partner and thought, that'll fucking learn you. I'm going to get Tom Jones to sing a mean song about you. And Tom was like, oh, bit of a sad one, is it? You are then. And then got in the studio and just like, Daughter of Darkness! And then they were like all the way through the production trying to be like, it's a bit of, can you do it just a bit less, a little bit less enthusiastic, right? You are then, and then eventually they're like, you know what? Let's just cut the tape. We'll take it as it is.
Daughter of darkness, daughters of love.
Rob, if that story is true, I'll take it off my worst list.
Fair enough.
But I don't think it is.
I almost actually regret putting this my number 3. It's a novelty song. It wasn't written really with like artistry in mind, so it's a bit unfair to slag it off. But in terms of it being like one of the worst, it's got to be. It's The Boys Back Home. It's the World Cup song.
Back home, they'll be thinking about us when we are far away.
It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, it is terrible. Yeah, I didn't make my worst list because I just find it hard to gather up bile for a World Cup song, because the song wasn't a hit because people liked it. It was a hit because people felt like they might win the World Cup that year.
Sure.
Which, remember, England were defending. That was 66. They won. So spirits in England very high.
I think we might have done a better job if this song hadn't have come out.
Maybe. Although I will remind you, the winning World Cup song from 66 is Lonnie Donegan's, what's he called?
World Cup Willie.
Red, white, and blue. He's World Cup Willie.
Is that our World Cup song from the only year we've ever won the World Cup?
Yeah, that was 66.
That's amazing. I mean, look, there are some bad songs that have come out in World Cup years. This has got to be one of the worst, right?
It's the teams performing it. It's the squad.
Is it?
Yeah, but that was what was the done thing.
Oh,
I mean, World in Motion has the squad on, but like New Order are kind of mainly holding the song. And then you've got Three Lions, and then I think finally football music becomes tolerable. My third one is going to sound like pure heathen to anyone as soon as I announce which song this is, until I give a bit more context. The third song I have picked is Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
I can't believe you've done this.
It's a very weird version, isn't it?
It is. Now, so obviously the Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, that's the version everyone knows.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Classic. And then I think the next version that was a minor hit was a cover by Diana Ross and the Supremes, duetting with the Temptations.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
And it is a great example of a cover where they just did the original but slightly worse. Like they just karaoke'd it. It happens. But evidently something got put in Diana Ross's mind from doing that version. And she was like, that wasn't it. I have got the perfect reimagining of this song deep inside me. And oh gosh. You're familiar with the Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell version, right? What do you like about it? Because of course you like it.
I would say almost everything. I mean, I like the little percussive, like, do that kind of vibe. I like the melody. I like the singing.
If you ever need a helping hand.
There's some good things. So, rhythmically, this song is what I can only describe as about 5 BPM, maybe. It's so slow, barely any percussion at all. It's just a drag. What was that about the melody and the music and the chorus?
Well, that it had some singing in it was ideal.
No, none of that.
Yeah.
No. Diana Ross went with spoken word verses.
If you need me, call me.
And the chorus comes and you're like, oh, finally something I can sing along to. Instrumental.
Just goes, whoa, like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. The song's only called Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
There is one good bit of the song, and that is in the final, when it comes to the final chorus, it goes like, no mountain high enough. And it's like, oh, the vocals, the chorus, great. And then it's okay. But you've had to sit through 6 minutes of Diana Ross monologuing before you get there, because this song is fucking gargantuan.
You see, my love is alive.
I'm willing to bet our top 2 are the same. I can't see how you didn't hear either of these 2 songs and not go, yep, awful.
The first one is All Kinds of Everything.
All kinds of everything remind me of you.
It's one of the most insipid pieces of shit I've ever heard.
It's another classic case of the vocalist completely just shitting all over it with a voice that just sounds like they're trying to be as much like a Disney princess as possible.
Well, weirdly, I almost thought Kate Bush in places. And actually, compared to some of Kate Bush's more shrill moments, I wouldn't necessarily be able to be like, there's a major difference. And yet somehow Kate Bush is brilliant and this is unlistenable. Pat.
So this is, of course, by the Irish artist Dana. The song would make you think that she's, a loving, at least she's like a nice woman, because she likes all these nice raindrop, snowflake bullshit.
Everything.
And daffodils.
And look at this.
And fishermen.
And isn't it nice?
It turns out she's an ardent conservative traditionalist pro-lifer. Now I know what you're thinking. Flora, does it really matter that a 70s singer who no one really remembers is a conservative pro-lifer? And I say no. It does matter that a sitting MEP of Ireland and a former presidential candidate for about 10 years, an MEP for Ireland, that made the song even more insidious, because there's something about somebody singing about how beautiful the world is when you know their politics are the kind of thing that'll, throw you in jail for having an abortion.
And lambs and all kinds of everything, except remember, if you have an abortion, you're going to hell.
Spring and autumn too.
I am 99.9% sure we have the same number one worst song. Imagine a song, listeners, if you will, that opens with a children's choir singing the words,
Jesus was the little children.
all the little children of the world, red and yellow, black and white.
Red and yellow, black and white.
And yet, that's not the worst part of the song. I'm assuming we have the same song, Rob. Everything is Beautiful by Ray Stevens. Of course it is.
Everything is beautiful in its own way.
Ray Stevens is a fascinating fellow, and I will talk about his future in just a bit, but this is one of his first major hits. It was a huge transatlantic number one hit. And it's ostensibly he's a country singer, but this is kind of gospel. But the gospel choir he elects to choose is a children's choir.
Not a talented one.
No, fully out of tune the whole time.
I don't think I would be stunned if it was choir. I think he just rounded up a group of children.
But the chorus of the song is where it gets just soul destroying. Everything is beautiful.
Like a starry summer night. Sing it, children.
You know what it reminds me of a bit, except it's way
What?
worse? It's a Small World. It's if
Yes.
Small World was an actual pop hit.
But my number one pick for the worst moment of this song is, I believe, the start of the last verse. We shouldn't care about the length of his hair. And then almost as an aside, or the colour of his skin.
We shouldn't care about the length of his hair or the color of his skin.
He really equated two incredibly equally important issues there. Men having long hair and systemic racism in America. This is an abysmal song. What it also is, which is fascinating, is completely unrepresentative of Ray Stevens' career. Ray Stevens' most famous hit is called The Streak. It is a novelty song about a streaker in a supermarket where he's just singing about, he's all naked. He's mooned this old lady. That's really is the song. It's not funny at all. But his career is mostly in novelty music. I want to bring up one last song of his. I don't want to put a clip in it because I feel like it's the kind of thing that'll just get this immediately shut down. But I petition you to go check out the song he released in February 2002, less than 6 months after 9/11, called Osama Yo Mama, which is a song about how basically Osama bin Laden's mum clearly didn't raise him right. It's one of those songs that's it's like sort of Islamophobic at times. It's also just like baffling why you would think that like 6 months after America, when America was still very much healing and mourning, you thought, yeah, it's fair game. I'll do a song called Osama Yo Mama. It rhymes. The joke's there. I can't. This is gold, man.
Look, I
This
don't
needs to be written.
know what you want me to do. Osama clearly rhymes with your mama. My hands are tied here. Well, a bad song by a bad man. I'm glad that we managed to wheedle out the bad people. Does that
Yeah,
make
we did.
good people?
I think that defines good people. Good people are the people that point fingers at bad people.
Good people are the people that don't like the music made by bad people, even if they didn't know they were bad people when they made music. Yeah.
It's a bit like how I always hated Harry Potter.
They can hear the evil.
Everybody's beautiful in their own way.
So yeah, great year. What would you rate it out of 1,000?
865.
That's solid, and it's very close to what I was thinking, which is 851. We're glad we agreed on that. Glad we're very close. All that remains, Rob, is for me to pick a song for you to cover because you're covering the worst song of the year.
And
Now I
by
have
the
to
way, I'm so regretting to agree to do the worst one for this year because there's some fucking shockers in there.
There's some fucking awful ones. The one I'm going to give you, Rob, because it's the one that I can imagine you having the most fun with some vocal arrangements and stuff, is Years Go by Herman's Hermits.
Oh no, I was hoping for Daughter of Darkness. Oh God, I hate Years Go By so much. I hate it so bad.
That's the one I want you to do. It's the one I want to
Okay.
hear.
I'm already thinking, given that it's a Manchester song, maybe I'll do it as a sort of Stone Roses Happy Monday style song.
That could work. I think you could definitely like
Years
chip it
may
out.
come. That's my rap.
Okay. Is that Bez? Right, okay.
History. Years may come. Years may come. Years may go. Some go fast. Some go slow. Go so slow. Some have good.
Hey, Dan Cranston here, the Vanity Projects Manager. Congratulations on making it to the end of an amazing video. Why don't you reward yourself by subscribing here or watching another video here? And why don't you reward me by lending me like £50 to £100? Please?